My husband died the same night our daughter was born. At least, that's what I believed for 20 years. Until last Friday, when my daughter walked in, shaking, and said something that should have been impossible. Mom, I just met my dad. And when I saw the photo, my entire world collapsed. My name is Hannah Collins. I'm 40 years old, and 20 years ago, my life split into two parts, before that night and everything after. That night was supposed to be the happiest moment of my life. I was in the hospital, lying there, one hand on my stomach, waiting to meet my daughter. My husband wasn't with me. He was on a business trip, but he kept calling again and again, checking on me, making sure I was okay. "I'll be back before she arrives," he promised, and I believed him. I remember staring at my phone, waiting for his name to light up the screen again, waiting for one more call, one more message. But instead, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer it. Something about it felt off, but something deeper told me I had to, and I wish, more than anything, I had ignored it. The voice on the other end was calm, too calm. "Ma'am, we're calling regarding your husband." My heart dropped instantly. There's been an accident. Everything after that didn't feel real. They said the plane had crashed. They said there were no survivors. They said he was gone. I don't remember when I started crying. I don't remember what I said. All I remember is that feeling, like something inside me had been ripped out, leaving behind nothing but silence and pain. And before I could even process it, the pain became real, sharp, physical, unstoppable. Doctors rushed in, nurses surrounded me, voices overlapped, lights blurred above me as they wheeled me down the hallway. I was screaming, shaking, breaking, not just from the pain, but because in that exact moment, I was losing my husband and bringing our daughter into the world. When it was over, everything went quiet, too quiet, the kind of silence that doesn't bring peace. It just makes the pain louder. Then, they placed her in my arms. She was so small, so fragile, so perfect, and I just stared at her, tears still running down my face. I didn't know what I was supposed to feel. Happiness? Grief? Relief? Because the man who was supposed to be standing beside me, holding my hand, smiling through tears, was gone. Just like that. The next few days passed like a blur. Faces came and went. Voices echoed the same empty words. "I'm so sorry. He's in a better place. You have to stay strong." But none of it reached me, because no one understood what it felt like to lose someone before you even got the chance to say goodbye. They never found his body. The crash was too severe, they said. Too much fire. Too much destruction. Nothing was left. And for a while, that gave me something dangerous. Hope. A tiny, fragile hope that maybe there had been a mistake, that maybe he was still out there somewhere, alive. But days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and slowly, that hope faded into reality. Life didn't stop. It never does. I had a newborn in my arms, and no one else to rely on, so I did the only thing I could. I kept going. Those first few years were the hardest. Sleepless nights, endless crying, moments where I felt like I was drowning, with no way out. There were nights I sat on the floor, holding her close, sighing silently so I wouldn't wake her, because she needed sleep, because she needed me, and no matter how broken I felt, I didn't have the luxury to fall apart. So I worked, anything I could find, teaching neighborhood kids during the day, taking small jobs wherever I could, even stitching clothes late into the night, just to survive, just to make sure she never felt the absence I lived with every day. There were days I was so exhausted, I couldn't even feel my own body, like I was just moving on instinct, surviving, not living. But I never stopped, because she needed me. And somewhere along the way, I stopped thinking about myself completely. I didn't think about happiness. I didn't think about love or starting over. People told me I should remarry. They said, "You're still young. You deserve a second chance." But I couldn't, because my whole world was already in my arms. So I chose her, every single time. There were months I didn't buy anything for myself. No new clothes, no small comforts, nothing. I wore the same things again and again, but I made sure she never felt it. Her school fees were always paid. Her books were always there. Whatever she needed, she had. I remember one day she looked at me and asked, "Mom, why don't you buy new dresses like other moms?" For a second, I didn't know what to say. Then I smiled and told her, "I already have everything I need." And the truth was, I did, because every time I looked at her, I found a reason to keep going. She had his eyes, the same eyes. Sometimes when she smiled, it felt like he was still there. Not gone, just hidden somewhere in her. And that was enough to keep me alive. Years passed. She grew from a little girl who held my hand everywhere to a young woman with her own dreams, her own life. She started college recently. Smart, kind, strong. Everything I had ever hoped she would be. And in all those years, I never told her too much about that night. Just the simple truth, that her father died in a plane crash before she was born. And for 20 years, that truth never changed. Until last Friday. Last Friday started like any other day. Quiet, normal, predictable. I was at home finishing some work when I heard the front door open. She walked in, and immediately I felt it. Something was off. It wasn't fear. It wasn't sadness. It was something else. Shock. "Mom?" she said. Her voice didn't sound right. I turned to look at her. What happened? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she slowly walked toward me, her phone clutched tightly in her hand like it meant something. "Mom," she said again, softer this time. "Today, I just met my dad." I frowned slightly. "Who?" She looked straight into my eyes, and then she said it, something that made my entire body go cold. "Mom, I just met my dad." For a second, nothing happened. No reaction, no thoughts, just silence. My mind refused to process it. "What?" I whispered. She didn't argue, didn't try to explain. She just unlocked her phone and held it out to me. "Look." I took it slowly, and the moment I saw the screen, everything inside me froze. My fingers went numb. My breathing stopped. Because the man in that photo was not a stranger. That face, I had seen it every single day of my life. I had loved that face. I had lost that face 20 years ago. And yet, there he was, alive, looking straight into the camera like he never left. I slowly lowered the phone, my hands trembling now, and in a voice I barely recognized, I said, "That's not possible." Neither of us moved. The air between us felt heavy, suffocating. "That's him, Mom," she said softly. "I talked to him. He knew things about you, about me." I shook my head slowly. No, that's not possible. But even as I said it, something deep inside me had already started to break. "Your father died 20 years ago," I said, my voice stronger now, almost like I was trying to convince myself. I was there. I lived through it. I know what you were told, she replied, stepping closer. But what if it wasn't true? That question, it didn't land, it cut. For a split second, something inside me reacted. A buried thought, a forbidden possibility. But I shut it down immediately. No, I said firmly. There's a mistake. Someone is lying to you. She didn't argue. She just looked at me, then said quietly, "He wants to meet you." I froze. What? He said you wouldn't believe it unless you saw him. My chest tightened. He said, "You deserve answers." Answers. That word lingered in the air between us. I turned away, trying to steady myself. My heart was beating faster now, not just from fear, but from something I didn't want